What is up, fellow bench warmers? Welcome to your daily fantasy quickie. Hey guys, what's up? It's another day of fantasy basketball here with us, Komish, Eric Go, and of course, I'm your host, JJT. Komish, were you one of those people who had a sigh of relief this morning after seeing the Anthony Davis injury scare?
This last year I did not have any Anthony Davis, so I did not really feel what you guys were feeling. So today I had a really scary time seeing him clutch his knees. It really looked like it was ACL, but yeah, he does this thing all the time. Like it looks really bad. He's limping, he's everything, and then after after 1 or 2 minutes, he's back playing already.
I did not see how he went down, but when you messaged us that Anthony Davis went down, I checked. I watched the game. And it was a relief to see him back there, and even played the overtime. The 5 minutes of overtime. So that was a relief. But of course, last year's ghost flashback, or because I think I had 2 ADs last year in 2 of our leagues, our Dynasty League and the non-Dynasty League. And in both those cases, the AD injury last year really killed my team. So, and to this year, I have 1 AD, and my team's looking good there. But if I lose AD, I think that's going to be a big problem. So I think a lot of AD managers are really, although it's not, okay, on the positive note, it's not as bad as last year. Because last year, AD was what, top 5?
Yes.
And somehow this year, he was what, top 12? Right?
But he's playing well.
He's playing well. So, I mean, that's the that's the unfortunate part if he gets injured. But he is playing well. But at least he's not right. I mean, you didn't risk the top 5 picks there for an AD to just get injured, right?
Yes. The injury is, I think he got hit in the knee. So it wasn't something non-contact. So that's good. He said this was a stinger or something. It still hurt after the game, but you should expect him not to play in a back-to-back, which is tomorrow. Maybe miss 1 more after that. Hopefully,
or just 1 more.
Yeah, just 1 more, and then he's probably gonna be back. So this week, if you're an AD owner, well, just have to try to survive. Try to survive the week. If he's gonna miss some more games.
Yep. But another person or another player who got injured as well today and would make managers really scared is Nikola Jokic, who also had a knee injury. But this was it's a banged knee. He banged knees with Rudy Gobert.
Yes.
So it doesn't look too serious, but he was in serious pain after. So
it's a knee. It was diagnosed as knee contusion, or in Tagalog, it's pasa or bruise in English. Basically, it's just a bruise. But if it's a bone bruise, it's gonna be weeks. If it's a bone bruise, it's gonna be weeks. It's not ACL or anything, but it's still gonna be weeks. So we'll have to wait tomorrow to see if they say it's a bone bruise, because that means he's gonna be out for a while. And he tried to play through it. At halftime, he came out and he tried to take some shots, but I guess he didn't feel good enough to play through it. So that's something bad also. But the fact that he tried to come out is also good, because it means, it's not any tendon or anything. But Jokic played all games last year, I think, all 72. So I guess law of averages or anything. So Jokic owners will have to. Well, I have Jokic also, so we'll have to just
Wait
grin
and
and bear
see.
it. We have to survive. Since we're talking about injuries, I'm just giving a tip. When you lose someone for weeks, automatically you're thinking survival mode. For me, someone like a first rounder. If you lose a first rounder for weeks, you really try to survive. Meaning, maybe try to win not the week, but maybe just try to win as many categories as you can.
Yep.
If you can win, if you can win 3, 4, that's the best. If you can win 5, that's the best. But if you cannot, just try to win 3 or 4 until your first rounder come back. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what you should do.
And this is where the efficiency stats come into play, right? Punting would be something that's gonna give you a disadvantage here.
Yes and
When
no.
you lose.
Yes and no. Yes and no.
No, in what sense?
No, I mean, I don't think it's a disadvantage if it in the sense that if you have already strong categories, let's say you have 5. If you're punting, you have to have 5 elite categories. If you're punting right, you have 5 elite, as in elite categories. That's why you're confident enough to punt. So if you lose your first rounder, you're not going to be elite. You're just going to be, fighting
Can be
chance to win
above
those.
average or
And
somehow good.
If you stream and just concentrate on those, try to concentrate on getting those categories that you're punting. You should still be okay. You don't win all 5, but you should still win at least 3 or 4.
You still
at
have
least
a fighting chance to win.
Yes, it should be like that if you punt it correctly. But if your punting is like wrong in the sense that you're only strong in rebounds and blocks, that's rebounds and blocks, and then you lose a Gobert or you lose, someone who's really your anchor there, then that's going to be a problem. Yeah.
Let's talk about players who will benefit in case Jokic and Davis misses time. So Jokic, probably I was about to say Michael Porter Jr. would benefit a bit, but today still became the 5th top scorer in the Nuggets. So,
well, something's wrong with him. I don't know what is wrong with him, but he's not the Michael Porter Jr. that we know. He's back to his rookie self, where he's lost on defense. He's not. How many shots did he take today? I think he only took 10 or 11
not as
shots.
Aggressive, maybe.
Yes, he's not aggressive, or they said he was not being passed the ball. So I don't know if his teammates do not like him or there's an issue there or whatever. But he should be the one benefiting here. If Jokic will not play for weeks or for certain games, if it's not him who will lead the scoring, then who will? Aaron Gordon? Will
Barton, Monte Morris.
These guys get benefits. These guys get boosts, all of them. But Michael Porter Jr. Logically should be the guy who gets the biggest boost. I guess everybody agrees. It's common sense. He should get the biggest boost. But if he doesn't, But if he doesn't get any, he doesn't get his game going while Jokic is down, you're in trouble if you own him.
If you pick him right for your second round pick, right? If you got him for your second round pick, that's pretty much a high pick. If you partnered him with Jokic, which a lot of managers have, because he's been going late second round, right? During the drafts. I've seen a lot of questions about Jokic and MPJ being partnered. And if he doesn't perform, that's just losing your first and second round pick altogether.
That's true.
That's going to be a big problem for you. So, yeah, pretty much everyone benefits in the Denver side.
I think Barton and Monte Morris should benefit a lot because Jokic is basically their, assist facilitator guy. So, without him, I think Porter Jr. is not really a guy who can create. So it's going to be Barton. It's going to be Monte Morris. Porter will just be the guy that they will pass the ball to more now that Jokic is out. So I think that's what will happen.
Maybe some minutes for the Greens, JaMychal and Jeff Green. For a bit deeper, very deep leagues, I guess.
Yes.
They'll get some minutes there. Anthony Davis, meanwhile, the major beneficiary could be Russell Westbrook.
Should be Russell Westbrook.
And maybe Dwight Howard there.
Russell Westbrook, if AD doesn't play, if one of LeBron or AD doesn't play, can do what he did today. 33 points. I think almost a triple-double again. It was spectacular today. So that's all Russell Westbrook really needs. He needs either LeBron or AD not to play, because that will make the court open for him.
More open for him.
Yes, because the replacement of those players will more likely be a shooter. Carmelo or Malik Monk, which was Malik Monk was a replacement a while ago. So that opens up a lot of things for Westbrook, and that also opens up him to be more aggressive. Whereas there's LeBron, he's trying to let's just see if LeBron passes me the ball or something. But without LeBron, or if AD doesn't play, Westbrook will have a even bigger role going forward.
So let's see what happens let's see what happens with Jokic and Davis moving forward. But for sure, I think managers should expect them to miss a few games.
Yes.
Either this week, or I think the worst case is they miss this week and next week. I think that's the worst case scenario for them.
I'm confident AD will not miss a lot of games. Maybe tomorrow. That's it.
Yeah.
He played through it, so I think he can play through it.
But as an AD owner, I'd rather him get 100% first or close to that before playing.
That will never happen. 100% AD. That's
or just rest it for a bit and play when it's you don't have to play through it.
I did say that they have Houston, OKC, and then Houston again, and then Cleveland, and then Houston, and then OKC again.
They have a weak schedule in front of them.
So there's a chance he might rest just because of those opponents. But it's early in the season. I think he's gonna play through it.
LeBron James, another player who sat out today due to a sore ankle. And we saw the beneficiary. It's Malik Monk, pretty much.
The same with.
He might play tomorrow.
I think he will.
Yeah,
I think he will.
And it's going to be interesting to see as well how the dynamics this time between LeBron and Russell Westbrook would be
without AD.
I'm quite sure AD would not play tomorrow. I think there's a 90% chance he won't play tomorrow.
Well, what if he wakes up and says, "I feel 100%"?
We'll see. I just feel tomorrow it's either AD or LeBron who will not play. I think one of them will not play.
Yes, agree. I agree with that.
Kristaps Porzingis.
Oh,
did he get injured today?
Yeah, he did not play the whole second half with back tightness, according to Jason Kidd. But Jason Kidd said he's fine. But here we are again with Kristaps, and I don't know what to advise you guys. Of course,
at least it's not the knee or anything. Although back can be recurring or lingering throughout the season, and
he has a history of back problems, as far as I remember, and I think that's connected to the issues with the knees and everything, and that has affected him. Yeah, the bad thing is he was playing terribly before he went out of the game, and this season has been terrible also. So maybe the back has been bothering him.
Yeah.
That's worrying.
Beneficiaries for this, Dorian Smith,
Dorian
who has been
sure.
he has been quite rosterable already in maybe 14 team leagues. But I think those that, if you look into the waiver wire, Jalen Brunson had a double-double today.
Jalen Brunson, correct.
11 points and 11 assists. Maybe Maxi Kleber.
Yeah, Maxi Kleber.
Playing more minutes. And who else?
Brunson. That's it. Dwight Powell, if you're in a very deep league, I think you can, if Kristaps will miss games, I think Dwight Powell will also get a little boost.
Yeah,
a little, but it's not really that good of an option. I just want to comment on the leadership council that they have in Dallas. Well, I mean, if they're gonna ask for all 15 players to play every game and Jason Kidd will grant it, then that's bad for everybody. But I hope it's just a one-game thing. I hope it's a one-game thing.
Yeah, hopefully. But today they only had Houston, so I think they could have.
That's why the council
they could afford to play everyone.
It's ridiculous. What's a leadership council? I mean,
It's like the officers in class, right?
oh yeah, talking to the teacher. Like,
They're the mediator between the coaches and the players. So I
okay,
think that's
okay.
what it is. PJ Washington is still out. A lot of PJ Washington questions as well going around, asking if he is a drop already or if you should still hold on to him. What's your take on this?
If he's out, I think you can put him in your IL, right? So that makes it easy for me. I'm not gonna drop. I just can't drop him right now. He's
He's
still
not yet
getting
IL eligible in the sense that
IL plus.
If you don't have IL
Oh,
plus, you can't put him there.
yes, that's true. But for me, if even if he doesn't qualify for IL plus, I cannot drop PJ Washington yet because unlike let's say Chris Boucher, he has 25, 24, 26 minutes. He's just not performing yet. But last year, PJ Washington also had stretches like this. So maybe give him some more time. And I think the important thing is even if it's a timeshare or what, he gets 25, 24, he gets 20 plus minutes still. So that will give him a chance to turn it around. So I'm holding PJ Washington in 12 or 14
It's
team.
still too early. I think last year he also started really slow. And I could remember us talking about him and worrying about him as well until the latter part of the season wherein they started to put him at the center spot, played him more there. So we'll see. But last year, of course, it was a different Miles Bridges. It was a different center as well. So
True.
it's not, like I said, Mason Plumlee has a far better skill set than Cody Zeller, and it's easier to, you know, to replace Cody Zeller in the starting lineup. It's probably harder to replace Mason Plumlee because of the different skill sets that he has, right? So we'll see.
Yes.
It's still early, just the first week. If you could still hold on to him,
Hold.
just wait and
Try to
see.
hold.
Just wait and see. There are players returning, or at least close to returning. Caris LeVert has been practicing already. Caris LeVert and Pascal Siakam actually has practiced already.
Practice ready, yes.
And full contact. These are full contact practice. So I think those are good news for players who now this would be interesting as well because both these players, their replacements have been playing really well.
Yes.
So it's going to be interesting to see how they would, be eased in or what happens to their replacements.
We're talking about Chris Duarte and Scotty Barnes. So
Yeah.
both
Or even
both rookies.
Precious Achua. I mean, that could also be because they could play small and, put Siakam in there as their 5.
Yeah, but both rookies has been top 100 guys.
Yep.
So they're standard league guys.
I think Duarte is what top. I think he's way above 100 already. I think top 50, 60.
As of maybe 60. I'm not sure, but maybe 60. Let me check. But yes, it's very interesting to see what will happen to both of these guys. He's 56. Yeah, Duarte is 56. One thing about Duarte is he's averaging 40 something minutes, and his stats basically on volume. He's attempting 17 attempts a game. He's not shooting that well. He has not much steals, so it's been basically the attempts from threes, and then the scoring. He's been scoring a lot because of the attempts. So with Levert will come back earlier than Siakam.
Mm-hmm.
They already said that the next game is questionable already. So Duarte's time will definitely be affected. He's not gonna be a top 60 guy if Levert is there. He will drop. And before the news came out, you should have tried to trade him. One of our followers, Joseph Crisostomo, actually traded him today for Norman Powell, and I told him that's a good move.
Yep.
That's a good move. He picked him up in the free agency and then sold him high. Sold him for an injured Powell who could return anytime. So that's the kind of move.
I mean, given that Powell is injured, there's also risk there. So I mean, it's not an easy. It's not a hard sell. having this trade. I mean, it's not going to be hard to convince the Norm Powell managers because of the injury risk as well on Powell.
But these are the kinds of things you have to do, kinds of trades. You have to look bigger picture, not just now. Because I really believe Duarte is going to be solid this year, but not this solid. He's not going to average that many minutes or attempts.
Yeah.
Unless another injury happens, of course, which can also happen.
Which,
so
we'll see. We're talking about Caris LeVert here, and it's not
Brogdon. We're talking about Brogdon
or Brogdon. I mean, LeVert is not, really the healthiest guys out there. I mean, every year there's something with LeVert, right? Every season. Siakam, on the other hand, again, another interesting thing here, because Scotty Barnes has been playing well, Precious Achiuwa has been playing well. So where does Siakam position himself here?
What you said was possible. They could start him at center and then just play Scotty Barnes, OG together at the forward because they've been playing well. And Achiuwa is basically just a hustle guy, energy guy that can work off the bench. So that's possible. And I think they will put Scotty Barnes off the bench. I just think that Siakam will start eventually and Barnes off the bench. But the lineup that you said, that can happen in certain stretches of the game. They could do that. They're very flexible. They're very, very flexible because OG and the others, all of them are long forwards who can play big.
Yeah.
So that gives their coach more leeway.
Yeah.
With the rotation.
We'll have to wait and see. Hopefully Siakam plays well because he's been one of the players who's been drafted way below his usual draft position. I think mostly at the 70s or the 80s for Siakam. Cade Cunningham, the first pick of this year's draft. I mean, the first pick in the real NBA draft who has been forgotten. He's been... we expect him to be the top rookie in fantasy this year, but given that lots of our hype rookies are not performing to the level yet, we still don't know, really.
Yes. Well, I think Mobley and Cade in the end will be the two rookies who will be battling for that spot. It's gonna be Cade or Mobley. Cade is already practicing, I think, and I think he's gonna be ready for their weekend game. I think they have a weekend home game, Orlando, I think, and they're targeting that for his return date. So that's good news for his owners. Also, Bobby Portis. I'd like to add Bobby Portis because I think he's already gonna come back with Semi Ojeleye in their next game. So that will be big because Brook Lopez is still out. So maybe Bobby Portis starts, and
I stashed a lot of Bobby Portis in my in different leagues. So because he's been dropped by a lot of managers after not playing the first few games. So hopefully
he was actually dropped in our Dynasty League. So I picked him up also. So I hope he plays already.
The problem there is we don't have an IL slot.
IL. Yes.
And I have a few who are IL eligible, so I don't want to take anyone anymore. But we'll see what happens with Bobby Portis. Feel good players for today. Kemba Walker finally showed up and gave me the farewell stats after I traded him for Kyrie.
Good for you. I think Kemba will... I feel good because I also own Kemba. I have 2 Kemba stocks. He's been terrible so far, but 28 minutes today, still not the minutes I want. But that's good enough because his shots were falling. The problem with Kemba now is that it's a timeshare with Derrick Rose.
Yep.
It's a timeshare with Derrick Rose.
Yep.
So at the he's playing well and he got 28 minutes. So I think this is the most he will get. So the upside is the ceiling is capped for Kemba. So if you can trade him, for me, I'll try to trade him.
Kemba Walker out. Played well today. Tobias Harris also played well. Again, we compared him yesterday's quickie to Michael Porter Jr. that I felt that, given that the struggles of Michael Porter Jr., eventually they'll be close in terms of rankings at the end of the season.
Well, other fantasy experts are comparing Michael Porter Jr. to Miles Bridges already. So maybe we were very generous in comparing Tobias and Michael Porter. So, well, Tobias took advantage of Embiid playing very poorly today. He's another first rounder that is a problem, by the way. Joel Embiid. He seems like there's something wrong with the knee also.
I've gotten a lot of Joel Embiid offers in maybe
you know there's something wrong with him when you're getting offers with about the first round pick.
Yeah.
Right. So there, but Tobias will be a big winner with all of these things happening. Simmons, Embiid. So yeah.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, finally, after calling him out a few quickies ago, finally,
two straight good games
for him. Today he had 30, kind of outplaying Steph today.
Yeah, kind of.
I mean, Steph was just having a hard time with Lou Dort.
Steph was just not
but
in
they
the
still
mood
won,
to play.
Of course. But
yeah, Steph was not in the mood to play a G League team. I think he wanted more challenge. But SGA, I'm still trying my best to trade him.
Again, another player who's gonna be hard to trade as well because of the lingering idea that he will be rested later on.
I got offers of Mikal Bridges. So I got one offer of Miles Bridges, but I'm not selling low. Not yet, at least. It's too early. So I'm still gonna be patient. Hopefully,
and it's still too early to say, how Miles would end up, where Miles would end up as well. I think, I'm high on Miles, so I think he's gonna be consistent, but not this good, of course. But eventually, he might not be too far off from Shai as well, and that's my thinking here. DeJounte Murray and Jakob Poeltl played well. Actually, Poeltl has been solid throughout the season.
That's why I asked you, do you think Poeltl will finish higher than Isaiah Stewart in the end? Now I'm going to ask, I'm going to give you a harder question because I know it's easy. Poeltl or Kristaps Porzingis in the end? Or who would you rather have now?
I'd rather have Poeltl where he was drafted.
No, if you're offered Poeltl, if you're offered Kristaps right now, if you have
I'll take Poeltl.
So you'll pass.
Yeah.
So if I offer you Kristaps now, you're gonna pass.
That's hard. Depends on my team. Depends on the build.
Okay.
I guess depends on the build. If I can take Poeltl's free throws, I might just pass and just ride this his good games, because there's really no one in San Antonio.
Yeah, that's true. There's no one. Drew Eubanks or
really there's no one.
And he's getting the minutes this year. He's 38 minutes a while ago, I think. Although it's an overtime game, but still last year he wasn't getting that much minutes. Last year's backup was also Drew Eubanks, and Drew Eubanks was getting more minutes last year than
but they had more players that they can use. They had the Rosen, so I mean, the usage there has been less. Now his usage is more, right? He's been scoring more, rebounding more. The blocks, I don't think it's still there yet. Not as many yet, but I think he'll eventually get there. But
the John T was a slight buy low before this game, so kind of irritating that I wasn't able to close some DeJounte offers, because now of course they just rejected me outright after today's game because he started slow. But DeJounte, if he can just shoot 3-pointers like he did today, he's gonna be a top 40 guy.
Yeah, but you know,
there.
if you drafted DeJounte, you know he won't. He's not a 3-point shooter, so you expect that. So the 3-pointers would be a bonus. As long as he gets that 8 rebounds, 8 assists at least, I think that's solid already, and maybe 16, 17 points or even 20 points. I think for a team like San Antonio, that's easy for DeJounte Murray. Yeah, those are our feel good players. Of course, Luka is one of the feel good players, but you know, Luka is Luka. You pick him first. I don't think we should expect anything less from him. Worry players. Let's talk about some worry. Talked about Michael Porter Jr. One player who has been dangled in a lot of trades right now is Dame Lillard. Kamish said that Josh Lloyd mentioned that he talked to some what's the story there by Josh Lloyd? Because I didn't hear it.
He talked to sources in Portland, people close to the team, that Lillard apparently has an abdomen injury for a long time, not just this season, even before the Olympics. He has a injury, but it kind of aggravated when he played in the Olympics. So they wanted him to have surgery after the Olympics, but he did not want to. He said no. And then Josh Lloyd said that when you see him, that's why he's shooting terribly, because he could not, shoot properly because of the abdomen thing. That's what he said. And he said
Josh Lloyd doing some Woj stuff.
Yes. If he said if this is just him saying, he did say that, he thinks that eventually if it doesn't, work out, he's gonna have a surgery. And abdomen surgery is end of season surgery. So that's why it's not just me. I've seen in other fantasy groups, a lot of people have posted, a lot of people watch him. So a lot of people saw this. Although he's smart enough to put this not as the main story, but basically around the end of his video, just said it out there. So do we believe it? Do we not believe it? Well, he's been struggling. So whether we believe it or not, it's up to you. But it's going to be harder to trade him right now because of this news. It's worrying, for at least the very least. It's worrying for owners.
The best Dame Lillard owners could hope for is him getting that maybe a 40-point game, right? One 40-point game in, or maybe a couple of 30-point games, and then you trade him.
And actually, the trade that happened in our league, in one of your league, actually.
Yeah.
The Lillard Fox.
Yeah. Let's talk about that. It's Lillard. Yeah. Wait, let me just check. We just approved it this afternoon. I think it was. Wait, I'll pull it out. Lillard. The players involved there were Lillard, Vucevic,
the Aaron Fox,
and all right. Here's the trade: the Aaron Fox, Kevin Porter Jr., and Nikola Vucevic for Dame Lillard, Reggie Jackson, and DeAndre Ayton.
If you're just gonna look at it based on name value, the Lillard side, the Lillard side certainly looks good. But if Lillard really is injured and Ayton, as we know, has been struggling, this can go south for the owner fast.
Yep.
And he actually messaged me today. He said he heard this thing about what he was one of the one that actually alerted me about it. So, and then I watched the video because of that. So I found out about it. And he said he was worried because of what, Josh Lloyd said. And he said, what should he do? I said, you can't do anything. You just traded for him. So basically, I think you just write it out and hope that, he plays well. If you want to trade him again, then the good thing is he still has a first rounder, because he did not give up a first rounder. He gave up a second rounder. I think Vucevic is a second rounder. And maybe Fox is a fourth rounder or a third rounder. I don't know. But at least he still has this first rounder with him.
Yep.
So, well, then I think that trade, if everybody's healthy, the Lillard side should come out on top in that trade.
Yeah, but again,
although I did tell him that I don't like Kevin Porter Jr. in that deal, but he said he is okay with it. So,
there. Yeah, the trade though is, somehow fair in the sense that, players involved are named players. There's really
Yeah.
no low ball players being offered here. Everyone's rosterable. No throwaway players. In fact, Vucevic is probably a second round, borderline first round in terms of potential, right? So in a 14 teamer.
Potential, but he has struggled also to start the
Yeah,
season.
because of the usage, I guess.
What's interesting here is he's told me that he had Ja Morant in his team. And he opened Ja Morant up. He told the other manager if he wants Morant or Fox, and the manager chose Fox. So I don't know if you would have chosen Fox also, or you would have gone for Morant, which goes back to our Ja Morant, the other Fox the other day.
Yeah.
It's interesting, just something interesting.
Yeah, that's how trade
about.
works, right? I mean, you talk about it, and it depends on what the manager wants, right? And if you really want the trade to push through, it's a give and take thing, right? As long as the sides agree, I think we should also respect that, right? So that's the Dame Lillard worry news. We'll see what happens there. Hopefully he gives us a few good games to smash that news flash that Josh Lloyd threw out. Jordan Poole, another worry player for us.
Just for me, I watch a lot of his games because I have a lot of Jordan Poole. I think he's top 100 right now, but he's shooting terribly. I just feel that with Damian Lee also playing well, and then they have Clay coming back, I don't know if this is sustainable. That's just me. I don't think he can sustain 28, 29 minutes. Maybe his minutes goes down. And if his minutes goes down and he's not shooting well and he's not going to get 14, 15 attempts a game anymore, then, maybe he falls outside the top 100, outside the top 120. So I'm worried about it because he's not been playing that well overall.
And the hype is dying down. I mean, the hype
a little bit, yes.
Yeah, I think managers who drafted him above the 100 are quite disappointed already with his performance, and I'm sure some of them are regretting picking him too early.
Although he's top 80, but he's still in the top 100. He's 87th right now in the rankings.
Yeah, well, that's not too far off from outside 100. I mean, with Clay coming back, like you said, a lot of things can change as well. And the way he's performing, it seems like it's easy to replace him, right?
Yes.
The way he's, Damian Lee has been shooting well. They have other shooters like Otto Porter who could also play DE. I mean, they have a lot of options. Although he is probably the
most promising.
Yeah, he's like the closest to Steph right now in terms of scoring prowess. So I think that's where Jordan Poole's advantage is against other players. RJ Barrett, another worthy player of ours. I think it's the usage of others. They got deeper with Fournier and Kemba.
But I don't get the love for Barrett. I don't know. A lot of people say that, he's promising. But fantasy-wise, he's like a Kuzma for me. He's like a Kuzma. I think he's worse than Hero, for sure. Fantasy-wise, we're talking about fantasy-wise. Even Kuzma, I think it's just the same with him. Right? He doesn't take... I'm not too sure, but I know he doesn't have a lot of three-pointers. He doesn't steal as much. He shoots terribly from the field.
Yep.
So,
I mean, last year he was better. He shot more threes last year. He shot a little better, but he has games wherein he's really bad. He's like a better version of maybe Kevin Porter Jr. in terms of the field goals.
In terms of field goal, yes. But in terms of impact, I even like Kevin Porter Jr. more
because he has
at least
assists, he has some steals.
Yes, exactly. I mean, I don't know what RJ Barrett gives you. That's just... I mean, he gives you double-digit scoring, but something elite, something, that you say, at least he gives me this. I think
the closer comparison would be Andrew Wiggins.
Before. Andrew Wiggins before. Not Andrew Wiggins now. Andrew Wiggins now is already...
The Minnesota are Andrew Wiggins.
Yes. Maybe the Andrew Wiggins before.
Yeah.
Actually, I was thinking Jabari Parker, but okay, Andrew Wiggins is fine. If you go,
I
make it
think
better.
Barrett plays better defense than Jabari Parker.
Yes, defense in real life, but in
Yeah.
fantasy terms, steals, blocks,
There's
no.
not much
So
there. There's not much
not
there. But he
much,
has the
not
potential
much.
to get more than Jabari Parker.
That's where we are again. Eh. Potential, potential, potential. But he has not shown any
Yeah,
anything.
that's true. That's true. That's true. Tyrese Maxey, another
Yeah, it's
worry
been.
player. We thought that he's gonna be benefiting a lot from the Ben
I
Simmons.
thought.
Yeah, and but no. The one benefiting really is been Seth Curry maybe. Um,
Although he had a bad game today, also.
yeah,
Seth.
but of course, that's how shooters are. There are good games and bad
Yes.
games, right? Even Steph had a pretty bad game today. I mean, not the Steph that you would expect, right? Um, so yeah, Tyrese Maxey, your thoughts?
Tyrese Maxey, yeah, 14 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Not no steals, point 0.6 steals, not 1 3-pointer a game, and then shooting 30 something percent, I think. So so far it's not that good. But if you got him as a free agent or maybe the last pick of your draft, then I guess it's okay. We just probably hope that he would really explode like 20 points a game, like 6 7 assists a game, which has not happened. I'm holding him. Do you have a Maxi? I don't know if you have
No,
Maxi, but
nope.
if you have Maxi, I think you should hold him since I think the opportunity is there. Ben Simmons is
Yeah,
not coming yet, so just hold him because he's a starting point guard. Hard to find that in
yep,
the waiver.
yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are our worry players for today. Buy players, we talked about Will Barton. We talked about no Damian Lee has been shooting pretty
Yeah,
well, and he's been finishing games as well.
he's averaging double figures. He's
So
scored
right
double
now,
figures in all four games.
if you also noticed in the waiver wire, there are a lot of points and threes guys,
Yeah,
and I think most of the players here we're gonna talk about are pretty much those points and threes guys.
Patty Mills, another one.
Yeah, Patty
Yeah, points
Mills.
and threes.
Great. I've seen some Grayson Allens
Grayson
there.
Allen. Yeah.
And another player, Eric Gordon,
Yeah.
who's uh one of my favorite ads when at the start of the season, right? But you know what's coming every time, right? You know what's coming with Eric Gordon
Yeah.
every time. But
Yes.
he has been, as long as he's playing, he's solid. He's pretty solid.
And Daniel House got injured today again. So Eric Gordon might get more minutes.
So
So I think
I thought you were saying that I thought you were about to say Eric Gordon seems like he's the next one to get
um
injured.
he will. But I like the fact that he's happy with his 6-man role. I think he's contented that hey, they want to highlight Kevin Porter and Jalen Green. Let them do that. Just give me my 25 minutes.
Yeah.
While they're resting, I'm gonna take all the shots I want. Then
And
right?
he's
I
probably the
mean,
lone veteran there.
yes.
He's
And
the oldest guy probably there.
I'll just add someone we didn't talk about yesterday, Kevin Love.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, he's been good also. So he's like an Eric Gordon also.
Actually, Cleveland has
Points
been
and
good.
threes.
Cleveland has been, other than maybe Sexton, I think most of their players have been pretty decent.
Overachieving.
Yeah, in fantasy terms, right? It's only Sexton who's been struggling a bit.
Garland a little bit because he got injured also.
Yeah, but he had a good first game, right? I mean, he just got injured, so we'll see what happens there with Garland. Hopefully, he continues to play now. Going back to the buy players, Lonnie Walker and Devin Vassell. Lonnie Walker is another points and threes guy. Vassell is more well-rounded, I guess.
Yes, steals. Yes, steals. Vassell adds steals. Doug McDermott got injured with his knee. I don't know how serious it is. So he's been starting. So now there's an opportunity for maybe Vassell or Lonnie Walker to start. So whoever starts there gets more minutes. I would pick that person up while McDermott is out. But if Vassell gets the starting position, you should really pick him up because the way he's playing and if he's given minutes, McDermott might not get the starting position back when he's healthy.
And he's an all-around guy.
Yeah.
Within Basel, he's not the threes and points kinds of guy. He can contribute in a lot of ways. Jeremiah Robinson Earl, the rookie.
Yeah. He started
in OKC, but
Can you believe that he started? I've been eyeing this guy for a long time, and I just hated it that he started this early.
But
he's gonna be solid. But Derek Favors rested, but we know Derek Favors will be shut down, and when he's shut down, Jeremiah Robinson was a good day.
We lost you for a bit.
I think he is it okay now?
Yep.
Is it okay? Yeah. JRE is good because he can shoot threes and he can rebound. He's an undersized big, but he has intriguing fantasy potential. This could be a Chris Duarte situation, guys. But not now. Not yet now.
Not yet.
Soon.
Do not pick up yet.
Soon. You can pick up in deeper leagues, I think.
Okay, so
you can pick up in deeper
just
leagues.
watch how that pans out because, and again, like we said, OKC has had a lot of players there we thought that would be fantasy worthy. Pokusevski, and
Baisley, Roby.
Isaiah Roby, but so far it's only been Shea and Giddy who's been really valuable in terms of fantasy play. So just observe what happens there with Jeremiah Robinson Earl and the rest of the and see if when's the right time to pick him up. But we'll probably, of course, update you if it's really time to get him already, and you just watch out for those updates. All right, that's a longer quickie for today, but I hope that was helpful. We talked a lot. We had a lot of discussions. We discussed a lot of players. So I hope that was helpful for you guys. It's going to be a late night quickie release. So yeah, we'll see you again tomorrow, guys. And hope you'll have a better fantasy day tomorrow in case today wasn't as good. Bye, guys.